The Duchess will assassinate Celine personally. Wait for her to strike, then grab her.
As you command.
Let all gathered attend. Her Imperial Majesty will now address the court.
My friends, we have lost much. We have each seen a child, a lover, a friend consigned to the flames. The darkness has closed in around us, but even now there is light. We must be that light. We must lead our people safely through these troubled times. We must be their guiding star. Tonight, the war dividing us must end.
My friends, we are here to witness a historic moment. A great change is coming for all of us. Isn't that right, Gaspard? Don't be coy. It went just as we planned. I did this for you, brother.
Me? Have you gone mad?
No, not Gaspard. You did this for Corypheus.
What a terrible guest you are, interrupting your host. For Corypheus, kill them! I should thank you. You played your part marvelously. Both Celine and Gaspard destroyed in a single blow. The Council of Heralds will devour each other, and while they do, Corypheus will come. His army will march on Orlais straight from the depths of a nightmare, and all Thedas will fall.
Not on my watch.
That is precisely why I led you out here, Inquisitor. Your death will be the crowning jewel of my victory tonight. So good of you to attend my soirée.
Come back, Florian! Don't you want to dance? Watch out! He's up to something! Fight for
wasting your time trying to stir the nobility against me. We are at war.
I hardly have to stir them at all. Your sister murdered Celine. Everyone saw it. You're a traitor by association.
What do you hope to gain, Rabbit? You can't claim Celine's empty throne for yourself.
Maybe not. But I can keep it from you.
With everything I've found on Gaspard, I'm sure Briala can effectively rule the Empire.
I doubt anything in the world, let alone inside the palace, could put the Rabbit in power.
The testimony of the Ferelden mercenary you hired to stage a coup, tonight, might be enough.
How much weight do you imagine the word of a sellsword carries with the court?
The word of a mercenary willing to speak out against a Grand Duke? You know exactly what that's worth.
Of course, we have the orders issued to your general to sneak troops into the palace.
You've made your point. What are your demands?
Don't worry, Your Majesty. You'll find you can endure them.
So what are your demands? You must have something planned.
The Elves of Orlais will make great gains under our new Emperor. Wait and see. I'm not about to forget your part in this. The Inquisition will have all the support I can raise. I promise. The Elves of Orlais have a future. For the first time in centuries. If only Celine, my people will find a way to repay you. I promise you.
Just use this opportunity well.
I will. I've been waiting for this moment all my life. But we're keeping our new emperor waiting. Go give the nobility the good news.
Lords and ladies of the court, it is done. This was not the end any of us would have chosen. But the civil war is over. We stand here as proof of the Empire's fortitude. Our enemies must learn that Orlais shall not fall to treachery. We will never surrender our Empire. We shall teach them the finality of this truth with steel. With the Inquisition, we will drive the demons back into the Fade. The Maker himself could not protect them from the wrath of the Lion.
Join me, and we will exact justice for Celine and all those lives the enemy has taken.
Gather your soldiers, my friends. The Empire marches to war.
Here, at last, I find our absent hero. Hidden away, despite the efforts of all Orlais, to find you. The elves raise glasses in your honor while the newly crowned emperor glowers. 'Tis quite the spectacle.
That's what I do. Fall out of the sky, make bad decisions, and somehow everyone still follows me.
So they do. It seems I am also to join that esteemed crowd. By imperial decree, I have been named liaison to the Inquisition. Gaspard wishes to offer any and all aid to the one who supported his ascent to the throne. So, here I am.
What skills do you have that would benefit us?
I have knowledge which falls beyond the realm of most mages. I suspect this is also true of Corypheus, thus it behooves you to add to your arcane arsenal, yes? Mundane knowledge will not bring the rift in the sky to a close, after all.
When you say knowledge beyond the realm of most mages, do you mean blood magic?
I know many obscure, forgotten, and forbidden arts. Some of it you might consider blood magic, yes? Should thought of that frighten you, allow me to offer reassurance. Knowledge alone does no harm. What I possess, I place at your disposal to make use of or ignore as you desire.
I had no idea you were interested in joining the Inquisition.
The assignment has been given to me, regardless of my personal interest. Gaspar never liked my attendance at court. He wishes me as far from here as possible. Mayhap he feels the Inquisition a convenient repository for unwanted apostates. I cannot say. Regardless, Corypheus is a threat to Orlais, and to myself. Thus, I am not opposed to the appointment.
Welcome to the Inquisition, Morrigan.
A most gracious response. I shall meet you at Skyhold.
Is everything all right? You look troubled.
Things went according to plan for once. I couldn't be happier.
I would have preferred the Empress alive, but the Empire remains. That's something. Is there anything I can do? Can I get you anything? A drink, perhaps?
Would you care to dance with me, Lady Josephine?
I would love to, my lady.
The matter is urgent, Lady Josephine.
I am well aware of that, revered mother.
We will need them to return to Val Royeaux as soon as possible. There are ceremonies, ordinations. Maker's mercy.
That's quite impossible at the moment. However, I will see to this matter as soon as possible.
My Lady Inquisitor. Please, may I have a word with you?
I've just returned from the Winter Palace. It will have to wait.
I know you must be weary, Inquisitor. Ending the civil war is no small accomplishment, but you alone can help us. With the political turmoil put to rest, our minds turn to a single question. The next divine. We cannot answer it without the left and right hands of Divine Justinia V.
I have already told you, revered mother. Lady Leliana and Seeker Cassandra cannot be spared from their duties.
But surely with the support of the Empire, the Inquisition will not be harmed by the loss of just 2 souls.
How long does the Chantry need them?
Several months, at least. If one of them is crowned divine, she would not be returning to the Inquisition.
Why do you need Leliana and Cassandra?
They were Her Holiness's most trusted advisors. They represent her legacy, her hopes for peace in Thedas. They could rally the Grand Clerics to follow as no candidate from the clergy has been able to.
I don't understand. What is it you're asking of them?
We need them to serve as candidates for the role of divine. Everyone with the political support to succeed Justinia perished alongside her. Those who remain are unable to gather the majority of votes from the conclave of Grand Clerics. They have been deadlocked for too long. Lady Liliana and Seeker Cassandra were Justinia's most trusted friends and advisors. Our late divine is still held in high esteem. To honor her, the Grand Clerics might support one of them as successor.
Josephine has already told you this is impossible.
The Inquisitor has only just returned and has important business to attend to. You must excuse us, revered mother. Don't let them detract from your victory at Alam-Shiral. The support of the Empire should make our search for the Grey Wardens easier. Varric is eager to help his friend Hawk.
Stefan finally died. It's a pity. He's been in so much pain since Haven. He was out of his mind at the end. Smiled, said he smelled his mother's turnip stew, and slipped away.
right. Everything looks in order?
I ran it. I didn't write it.
Oh. Oh, Bells, it's you. Morris. Sir Morris, I suppose. I am serving as quartermaster for Skyhold and its arriving throngs. Stores are growing, and so long as we have fair coin to restock, you and yours will be well served.
The previous quartermaster survived Haven. Where is she?
She had views. Has views. Perfectly legitimate ones if you share them, Inquisitor. I believe it was felt that your quartermaster should be more palatable now that the Inquisition is in Orlais. She continues to serve, just not at the fore.
There are problems coming out of Halam Shiral?
There are always problems from Halam Shiral. We've lost a few contracts, but more than made up for it. Although, if a few commendations were given, it might retie some severed threads. I couldn't suggest how. That is better decided at your war table, and I'm not going near that thing.
How is it going? Do we have what we need?
With Skyhold shining like a beacon? You name it, it's here or on the way. I've wrung out the slackers, given them what for. I think I like this job.
As you were.
We are here for you, Inquisitor. Of course. Another time.
Have you heard of the new procedures coming out of Orlais? A hole drilled into the skull will cure most ailments. Imagine not to be dependent on magic.
Will you not consider it, Lady Cassandra? The clerics are still sequestered. If no one steps forward, they will debate until...
And you think I could make them agree? I've heard enough for one day, Mother Giselle.
Talk to her, your worship.
What's going on now?
I assume you've heard that Leliana and I are both candidates to be the next Divine. Because of what happened at Halam Shiral, of course, the Empire favors you. Thus everyone close to you. So now the Chantry bandies our names about without even asking us first.
How can you and Liliana be candidates? You're not even priests.
It's not without precedent. Amar III was sister to the Emperor, and Galatea a commoner. Liliana and I were, at least, part of the Chantry hierarchy. It would be accepted.
If they'll pick non-priests, why am I not a candidate?
Because they don't know what you are, and they're frightened of you. A weight such as yours would break the Sunburst throne and tear the Chantry to pieces. I just don't know why they believe Leliana or I would be any better.
I think you'd make an excellent Divine.
Truly? I never look good in hats. Surely it was never meant to be like this. The Chantry, the Circle of Magi, the Templars, this cannot be what they intended when it all began. The Chantry should provide faith, hope. Instead, it cannot veer from its course, even in the face of certain death.
I'm surprised to hear you, of all people, say that.
Oh? Am I not the same woman who declared the Inquisition against the Chantry's wishes?
In all my years as a Seeker, I did what I was told. My faith demanded it. But now my faith demands something else. That I see with better eyes.
If you're concerned, then make it better.
Did you know Varric is Andrastian? Oh, he blasphemes with every second breath, but deep down he believes. His heart is virtuous. But he would never step foot in a chantry. It should be the first place to which the virtuous turn. It needs to change. Perhaps I must be the one to change it.
You're not the only candidate. What about Liliana?
Liliana says she wishes to follow Justinia's legacy. But she and I remember a different person. Justinia knew her fellow clerics and the people would only accept so much change. Liliana would cast it all aside and start over, I think. And that would be chaos for us all.
What would you change about the Chantry?
The Circle of Magi has its place, but it needs reform. Let the mages govern themselves with our help. Let the Templars stand not as the jailers of mages, but as protectors of the innocent. We must be vigilant, but we must also be compassionate to all peoples of Thedas, human or no. That is what I would change.
I have influence, and I can use it to help the Chantry make up its mind.
I cannot ask you to do that.
You don't have to.
If you think that is the right thing to do, then thank you. I suppose I should not be so concerned. The clerics speak my name for now, nothing more. For now, restoring order and stopping Corypheus remain our priority.
Your worship?
Can you think of any other tasks suitable for the Chargers?
A few Orlesian nobles didn't like how things ended at the Winter Palace. They're not rebelling outright, but they've brought in mercenary companies in preparation. The Chargers have a good reputation. If we go in, we can buy the companies out from underneath them. The nobles will lose the men they meant for causing trouble, and the Inquisition gets some fresh blood.
I wanted to talk about you, if that's all right.
You know, I'm from Tevinter. Wasn't a slave, but even citizens have it rough if they're not mages. I was a soldier, but women joined the ranks under a different program. When they found out I was passing, it got ugly. I ran, met Bull near the border, and ended up here. Not a life I'd wish on everyone, but it'll do.
What's Tevinter like for a citizen? Someone who isn't a slave or a mage?
I'm of the Separati, citizens who aren't mages. Mages are in charge and everyone knows it. But a wealthy merchant can have an easy life. At the low end, people just try to stay out of slavery. My father was a tailor. I joined the army after the Imperial slaves drove him under.
How did slaves drive your family out of business?
My father made shirts, aprons, that kind of thing. Nothing fancy. One of the magisters had a pet project to prevent the poor from dying of cold in the winter. Nice, right? He had Imperial slaves making simple peasant clothes and selling them for almost nothing. That magister's nice idea put out slave-made clothes at prices my father couldn't match.
It sounds like the Magister was doing it out of kindness.
That's the worst part of Tevinter. People don't even realize they're taking away your living. That Magister wasn't a terrible person. He probably saved slaves from dying. My father sold himself into slavery. He's one of the Servus Publicus, the Imperium-owned slaves now.
You said you left Tevinter when they discovered your secret.
Women are allowed to serve, but only in certain ranks and disciplines. I was up for promotion, but the healer I'd bribed to sign off on my physical had to tend to a sick magister. When the replacement healer saw what was or wasn't in my pants, he made threats. It was slavery or death, so I knocked him out and ran.
I'm surprised you escaped from the Tevinter Imperium so easily.
It's not like I lived in Minrathas. I was in Trevis, not far from the Navaran border. It helped that I was being chased as a deserter, not a runaway slave. Slave hunters only get paid for what they catch. They're efficient bastards.
It's against the law to pass as a man?
It's a crime to lie on an Imperial application for service. Would have been a heavy fine or slavery. For 10 silvers, the healer said he'd tell the Tribune I was sick in the head. Some pity for the mad little girl. That was when I hit him. I'd served for a few years. I was good at hitting.
We'll talk later.
She looked through me, from the garden.
Count yourself fortunate. I'd not wish to be considered a rival and thereby worthy of attention.
It was worse than staring down a head.
Picture therefore like a single stone rattling around in their hell.
I didn't understand the Grand Ball. It would have been easier if they said what they wanted.
That would have made everything much simpler.
The colors were pretty, though.
I'd like to talk about what happened to you before we met.
Before you, Rhys was my friend. He showed me I was wrong to kill the mages. I thought I was helping them. Then he and Evangeline went to Adamant, and I went with them. I was worried Evangeline would hurt Rhys. We found out dangerous things. It scared Seeker Lambert, and he scared the mages. It started the rebellion. Seeker Lambert told me what I was. Rhys couldn't look at me. I ran until I found more Templars. That's all.
What can you tell me about Rhys?
He was a mage. He saw me when most couldn't, and he remembered. He helped me, and I watched over him. I worried Evangeline would hurt him. She was a Templar, but she didn't like hurting people. When I left, she stayed. Now she watches over him. They should have been with the rebels. Maybe they ran away together instead. Neither of them like killing.
If you like, I could use the resources of the Inquisition to locate your friend.
No. If they are alive and safe, they should stay away. The last time he saw me, he didn't want to look at me. He saw a monster. Let him forget.
I'll talk to you later.
Probably.
It's just what I heard.
You know what it was?
I don't know.
One for the Empress. For Gaspard. Briala. The Duchess. And Caritas. Right in the dangle bag.
All right, you're clearly annoyed. What can I do?
You're doing fine. It's the dead piled up in Halam Sharal that's nagging at me. A cook here, a footman there. What's it matter, right, so long as there's a butt for the throne? A skinny elven puppet arse at that. Wonder how long before she forgets her poor elves. Ugh, that place. Should have just thrown in some bees and slammed the doors.
I don't know. You want to stop a party? I think you go earwigs.
I hate those things, with their little pinchy butts. Josephine should add that to her paper threats. You know the real lesson from all this? Never sleep with an empress. That, and Briala being an idiot, the whole thing would have gone different if that little piss-up wasn't in the middle.
That was a mistake on their part. It made everything worse.
Wrong way around, Inquisitor. It started worse. Lots of people died before there was a hole in the sky. That's who you're saving. If you get a chance, maybe remind them not to be idiots.
rumors.
Rough day running? Inquisitor.
And you are...
The bartender. Cabin?
just the bartender?
You were expecting...
I don't know. I suppose nothing.
I am a bartender, like my grandfather before me, and my father before him. A lineage destined to draw me hence. Is that better?
Actually, yes. Yes, it is.
Of course. Refreshments await yon kings of destiny.
As you were.
Inquisitor?
Ah, come on, Krim. I'm working my ass off trying to get you to see that move.
You still got plenty of arse left, Chief. Your worship.
Glad you came by. I got a letter from my contacts in the Ben Hasrath. Already verified it with Red.
Do you want to discuss this alone?
Not like I was hiding it from my boys. Besides, right now, I need to hit something.
You know they've got training dummies, Chief.
The training dummy might actually defend itself against the shield bash. Anyway, the Ben Hasrath letter.
What did the letter say?
The Ben Hasrath have been reading my reports. They don't like Corypheus or his Venatori. And they really don't like Red Lyrium. They're ready to work with us. With you, boss. The Qunari and the Inquisition, joining forces.
That could be a powerful alliance.
My people have never made a full-blown alliance with a foreign power before. This would be a big step. They found a massive Red Lyrium shipping operation out on the coast.
They wanted us to hit it together. Talked about bringing in one of their dreadnoughts. Always wanted to see one of those big warships in action.
Did you see that? Go get some water. They're worried about tipping the smugglers, so no army. My chargers, you, maybe some backup.
You don't seem entirely happy about this.
No, I'm good. It's... I'm used to them being over there. It's been a while.
I thought Qunari wanted to extend their reach to the whole world.
Yeah. Just didn't think I'd see it. Look, the Qun answers a lot of questions. It's a good life for a lot of people. But it's a big change. And a lot of folks here wouldn't do so well under that kind of life. I guess it's not like we're converting. This is just us joining forces against Corypheus. On that front, I think we're good.
What does this alliance really get us?
They wouldn't use the word alliance if they didn't mean it. Naval power. More Ben Hasrath reports. Qunari soldiers pointed at the Venatori. It could do a lot of good.
I think the Inquisition could use some help from the Qunari.
Good. I'll pass on word to Cullen and Red. We can set up the meeting whenever you're ready.
What have you done now?
I get it, Seeker. You're still sore after our spat.
I'm not a child, Varric. Do not suggest I'm without reason.
A peace offering. The next chapter of Swords and Shields. I hear you're a fan.
This is your doing.
Oh, yes. Do you really think I'd miss this?
Well, if you're not interested, you're not interested. Still needs editing anyhow.
Wait!
You're probably wondering what happens to the Knight Captain after the last chapter.
Nothing should happen to her. She was falsely accused.
Well, it turns out the guardsman...
Don't tell me!
This is the part where you thank the Inquisitor. I don't normally give sneak peeks, after all.
Thank you.
Varric's the one you should be thanking.
I am but a humble servant to my loyal readers.
I wonder if I have time to read the first part.
Don't forget to tell all your friends, if you have any. Completely worth it.
What did I tell you?
Inquisitor.
What's been going on?
Ambassador Montelier sent me a basket of flowers to thank me for my work with the Inquisition. She's so lovely.
So, who's Scout Harding, really?
Me? Oh, I'm no one. Lived near Redcliffe all my life. Herded sheep for my neighbor. When the Inquisition came through my village, I helped by telling them everything I knew about the area. Then I signed on. Wanted to see the world before it was swallowed up by... that thing out there.
Shouldn't you be out there... scouting?
In a bit. We're in Skyhold for supplies and a change of personnel. Not me, though. Indispensable.
What's been going on?
Varric came by to talk. He told me a story about copper marigolds.
I have to go.
Hello? Hello? You haven't said a word since they got back from Halam. Future not so rosy? Thought you had both sides covered, that you were on your way back to court.
An elf. You don't know how undone my contacts are. Our history.
Yes, well, buck up. Odds are you won't survive this anyway.
That's actually comforting.
That's Caripius. He's a snake. The
That's why we have talkers and hounds. Allies better than him.
We had allies before.
Not like this. Haven wasn't anything like this.
The war in Olay has claimed too many lives. I pray that it's over for good.
Nothing right now. Perhaps in a bit. Finally, a place for... the horses! I forgot about the Ferelden horses.
All's well.
How are your charges? Well supplied?
Oversupplied. Never thought a mountain pass could seem like luxury.
Farewell.
Make her be with you. Inquisition?
I am at your service.
How are you doing? Good business?
In this gilded fortress, how could we not be?
Skyhold needs a healthy flow of goods. How can I help?
One of the major hubs is freed. Continue on this path, and you're on your way.
We'll speak another time.
Of course, Lady Inquisitor.
Inquisitor, you have come to the attention of the powerful, and I am the response. Monsieur Faris at your service. You will find my wares unique. I sell influence.
Inquisitor, if you're looking for the commander, he's gone to speak with Seeker Pentecost.
The pen is mightier, Miles.
What's with scalding? No fun.
This is a hall worthy of the Inquisition.
How bracing to be in the thick of the game again. The last time I was at Alam Shiral was Countess Letienne's wedding. There were a dozen affairs, 5 secret alliances, and a duel between 2 chevaliers over the vintage of an Antivan port. But until the Duchess was en masse, I've never seen the Winter Palace in shock.
No one can say the evening wasn't memorable.
No, I should think not. I must confess, when Celine was killed, my first reaction wasn't sorrow. It was disappointment. How could the Empress of Orlais be taken in by the Duchess's plot?
Powerful or not, even an Empress can't know everything.
No, evidently not. But let's not lose sight of victory. Your actions at the ball have secured us allies and favors alike.
My favorite moment of the evening is still our waltz in the garden.
I could have danced with you for hours. We must do it again sometime.
It was interesting to see how much has changed in Halam Shiral. And so little.
Madame Méprise is a fixture. The sun will grow cold before she retires. At your service. Any news on why Corypheus is sending people to explore elven ruins of all things?
No, I suspect he keeps the reason secret, even from his inner circle. Inquisitor.
I need to have a few words with my publisher. The first one will be you, and the second one will be Bastard. They've claimed for years my crime serials don't sell in Orlais. So why is the Council of Heralds asking me for autographs? Sorry, distracted. Anyway, you need something?
There are spirits hovering by the veil to observe the thrones of powerful nations, the machinations, betrayals. After our time in Halam Shiral, I understand why. I had forgotten how I missed court intrigue.
I'm pleased you had a good time.
Political gambits, broken promises, half-truths. It is a palace full of motivation, and motivation is where great things happen. In any event, Gaspar should be a steadfast ally. Briala will keep him in check, and look after the elves.
I liked it. The Inquisition gets a valuable ally, and perhaps your people will get better treatment in Orlais.
How will mages be treated better? Oh, you mean elves? I'm sorry, I was confused. I do not consider myself to have much in common with the elves.
Who do you have much in common with? Who are your people?
A good question. I joined the Inquisition to save the world. Regardless of who my people are, this was the best way to help them. As for the elves of Orlais, I believe Briala is doing quite well on their behalf. She is an admirable woman.
She's done good work. Hopefully, with our help, she can help them even more.
Yes. However much I identify, or fail to identify, with her people, Briala's efforts have been remarkable. She organized resistance against a powerful enemy, using only her wits and the resources at hand. That demands respect, especially in a world where most would look at her and only see a pair of pointed ears.
Anything interesting?
A letter regarding Felix, Alexius's son. He went to the Magisterium, stood on the Senate floor and told them of you. A glowing testimonial, I'm informed. No news on the reaction, but everyone back home is talking. Felix always was as good as his word.
Was?
He's dead. The Blight caught up with him.
Are you all right?
He was ill, and thus on borrowed time anyhow.
That doesn't mean you can't regret his death.
I know. Felix used to sneak me treats from the kitchens when I was working late in his father's study. Don't get into trouble on my behalf, I tell him. I like trouble, he'd say. Tevinter could use more mages like him. Those who put the good of others above themselves.
He should be an example for others to follow, or his death is wasted.
Should I spread the word? We could spawn the cult of Felix within a matter of days.
There are worse things.
Probably true. And you're right. His actions should not be forgotten. Thankfully, Felix wasn't the only decent sort kicking around Thedas.